All the decadent horrors I have seen pale in comparison to that final, crowning thing. I could not look, nor could I look away.
Hello, everyone. Science Viking here, and it is time to return to Darkest Dungeon. I have quite a bit of gold, so I'm going to look for an excuse to spend it. Let's see. My champions are all pretty well upgraded. So let's look at upgrading the mid-level people. Though they also are pretty well upgraded. May as well work on Sacrificial Stab, even though it isn't that useful. It has some utility, I just always seem to end up placing my Occultists in position 4. Yeah, the mid-level people in general are a bit underserved in terms of upgrading. Ooh, especially this antiquarian over here. Bras is gonna need some work. I'll let Sniper's Mark stay the way that it is. Okay. And I've reached the low-level people now. And I still have gold, so let's see if there are any trinkets in the Nomad Wagon. Okay, I have a legendary bracer. Do I already have any of those? I know I had one in the past, but I think I lost it, so it might be worth buying another one. Not for 12,500 gold, and that's with a fully upgraded Nomad Wagon. Since I had one in the past, it would probably be best just to go retrieve it from the Shrieker. Make Cumin even spicier than she already was. And lo and behold, we're out of money again. I do have some heirlooms, so I could potentially upgrade my heirs. Let's see, what can I don't know, the survivalist is useful, but the bonfire upgrade isn't all that useful. So instead, I think I'll upgrade the bar. As for the rest, I could trade for additional heirlooms, but I think that there's a bit of a loss when you do that, so I'm going to hold on to my remaining heirlooms for now. Let's see. So, I've lost enough trinkets, some of which are really valuable, that I am going to go after the Shrieker now. So, let's bring a Vestal. Let's bring... I definitely don't want to bring a Leper no matter what. Let's bring a Hellion. See, the Abomination's stress level is a little high. Let's see. I don't have any good high-level heroes with evasion debuffs, so I don't want to bring anybody who has significant accuracy issues. Yeah, let's bring a Houndmaster and an overly stressed Abomination. There's absolutely no way this can go wrong. Oh. Actually, I need to equip everybody first. All trinkets. Also, in case anybody's wondering, I know I forgot to upload... I didn't forget. I know I didn't manage to get a video uploaded last week. I just got really busy with real life stuff, so I didn't have time to record until now. So I have more time this week, so the plan is just I'm going to upload 2 episodes this week, a couple of days apart, to make up for the one that got missed. So you should still get the same number of episodes over a 2-week period. They're just closer together. Alright, Steady Bracer. I absolutely need that for the Houndmaster. And you know what? Damage Stone. Okay, for the Abomination... Shameful Shroud and the Osmond Chains. And This boosts the this boosts the damage and critical of his ranged skills, which would be his untransformed skills. Instead, I'm going to go for the restraining padlock. And the Lock of Fury. His Crimson Court trinkets would make sense if I'm planning on using him at least in part untransformed. But since I'm not planning on using him, since I'm only planning on having him be transformed, and yeah, Heaven's Hairpin would actually be really helpful now. There's not much point in using his Crimson Court gear. Alright. And let's provision. I need to bring blood. Bring a lot of blood. I mean, I shouldn't need that much blood, but there's really no reason to worry about it. And anti-venom bandages. Lots of bandages. Okay, let's do this. Sometimes rewarded with unique quirks. Yeah, I've seen what those rewards look like. Start with Big Hack. Wait, did I not bring anyone with the Crimson Curse? I could have sworn I brought somebody with the Crimson Curse. And transform. And Rage can hit the nest. Rage against the dying of the night. No, I didn't bring anyone with the Crimson Curse. I thought I did. Okay, use a dog treat, and then once again go after the Shrieker's nest. This is going surprisingly well. The part of it is the Shrieker is the one with the high dodge. The nest doesn't have high dodge. Alright, Divine Grace. And even more rage. Call the murder. Buff increases its speed, but we're almost done already. Or at least almost done with the nest. Arundel will just focus on healing. So far, it looks like the Abomination is the only one who's definitely going to need stress treatment after this. The others might, but so far things are actually going pretty well. Okay, it hasn't retreated yet. The main thing is I don't want the Shrieker to run away, because if it runs away, that will cause a whole bunch of stress.
Dissuade the sharpened blade.
Okay, so destroying the nest doesn't actually doesn't actually remove the Shrieker. I wasn't sure. And now I am sure, I guess. 52% to hit. Yep, that's the Shrieker, alright. Bandage, and since I can't really set up mark exploitation on this thing, so it's gonna have to go with Hound's Rush. And also, the best will keep healing everyone. Use a bandage, and if I were to use Rage, it would do 15 to 24. If I were to use Rake, it would do 8 to 14. The damage buff is not worth it. I'm just going to stick with Rage. Okay, Call the Murder is not the flight ability.
Injury. Palpable fear.
Sticking with Wicked Hack. We have not missed the Shrieker yet. This is unprecedented. Like, seriously, just round of applause for this whole team. Good job, guys. You are doing incredibly. I can't believe you guys have yet to miss. Even if it manages to, Shrieking Flight. So we don't actually get to kill the Shrieker. But still, round of applause. Nice job. Now get yourself some stress treatment. You desperately need it.
Self-preservation is paramount, at any cost.
And we got 3 puzzling trapezohedrons.
Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
That's quite nice. And, yep, we got a whole bunch of, I got a legendary Bracesword. I didn't have to spend money for it this time. I also got the Sacred Scroll. And 5 Crimson Court, trinkets that we lost with various people dying. Oh, and the one person who wasn't a champion is a champion now. And I actually got rewarded I actually got rewarded with a unique quirk. Corvid's Grace, plus 6 dodge and plus 25% move resist. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little while before these heroes are actually capable of...
minds are mired in malignancy. Fear has taken root.
It's going to be a little while before anybody here can handle fighting. Okay, treat the diseases first. It's the Houndmaster. There's Rosai that had the 3rd disease. Oh, he has 2 diseases now. Right, because he contracted 2 diseases over the course of 1 mission. Foliot and Montgomery get to visit the pub, and everybody else with dangerously high stress is also receiving disease treatment and can't receive stress treatment. So, let's go for another mission. Let's see. So, I could take on the Swine God. Plus 40% Blight, Bleed, and Debuff resistance. For the Cleansing Crystal. That's not bad. I'm also pretty close to being able to unlock boss fights in the other locations. So, let's see. What condition are my champions in? I have a lot of champion Vestals I could use. A Hellion, a Crusader, a Plague Doctor, and a Leper. I could put together a fairly strong champion-level team to take on the Swine God. So, should I do that? I think I will. Let's just go straight for the boss fight. Makel, Presticat, actually no, not Makel, Valognes, Presticat, Neo, and Conta. This seems like a viable team. I'm just jumping straight into the progression missions. Let's see. The atonement beads aren't going to be helpful right now. Unequip all trinkets and sort. And definitely want the Ancestor's Scroll because it causes less extra stress than Junia's Head. And the Worry Stone. Okay, let me see the Plague Doctor specific. I don't have both halves of the Plague Doctor gear. I only have one. Can he use Incision from position 3? Yes. Perfect. I want the Dissection Kit, because the enemies in this area tend to resist Blight. In addition to that, what else would be good for you? If I still had a bleeding charm, that would be that's a damage stone, health stone. Not really sure what to give him for. I'll just give him a Worry Stone then. That's just kind of a good default item to give somebody. And, of course, the Glittering Spalders and the Signed Conscription. And for the Hellion, the Lioness Warpaint and the Legendary Bracer. I want my Hellion to be doing as much damage as possible. And all of the abilities are as they should be. Let's see. Battlefield Medicine, Incision, Plague Grenade to allow him to attack the back line, and Emboldening Vapors. Okay, let's see if we can pull this off. Definitely need to bring plenty of blood. No need to be stingy, we have plenty of it. Decent amount of food, plenty of medicinal herbs. Lots of anti-venom, and generous with the bandages too. A little more holy water, a key or two, and mustn't forget the torches. Okay. This looks viable to me. Let us begin. I've probably forgotten
The
something.
great thing I had managed to bring through was brutish and stupid. Moreover, it required prodigious amounts of meat to sustain itself. But this was only a trifling concern. After all, I had a village full of it.
More reminder of how
A
evil the
nameless
ancestor is.
abomination. A testament to my failures. It must be destroyed.
Okay, everybody's passive. And... okay, a little hard to tell where exactly the boss is, but it's got to be in one of these three positions. Which means relatively short distance you have to travel if you guess right.
Curious is the trap maker's
Also-
heart. His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
Great. Also, maybe in hindsight, I should have brought a Hellion with a slightly lower stress level than 59. I knew I did something wrong, and I guess we just found out what. Well, let's see if I can make this work. Decision. Wicked hack.
Annihilated.
Judgment will not kill. Wait, that's Dazzling Light. Judgment will not kill, so let's Dazzle instead. And can Zealous Accusation get the kill? It cannot, so we're going for Smite.
Destroyed.
Crushed by justice. And Wicked Hack.
Eradicated.
Okay, unlock open the strong box. Trade the Jade for the Onyx. And Scouting already. How much do we get? A fair amount, but not as much as I was hoping for. Alright, bandages to protect the Hellion's hands during the search. Gold and food. I'll just leave the rest of the gold behind. What's the Hellion's trap disarm chance? 80%. Okay. In that case, I'm going to have her disarm the first trap. Well, sometimes
Mind
risks
such
don't pay
missteps
off.
are
I was
the
hoping that would
exception.
reduce her stress
Not
level.
the rule.
Okay, this is going to be interesting. Large flesh eater, a flesh eater, and a swine heaver. Okay, plague grenade. They have 140% blight resistance. So really... okay, so I'm going to use Emboldening Vapors on the Hellion. And then if it bleeds on the flesh eater,
Obliterated.
and that's one of them down immediately. Okay, Judgment can reach the flesh eater, but won't kill without a critical. So instead, I'm going to focus on stunning, or the heaver. Instead, I'm going to focus on stunning the flesh eater, and I think we need Inspiring Cry a little bit right now, which means that all we have to deal with this round is vomit. And Iron Swan.
Decimated.
And another Emboldening Vapors. Just power up the melee fighters before we attack the enemy. Okay, its stun resistance is 140%. We're not stunning it anymore. So now it's time for damage. Fortunately, I decided to go with Weakened Prey, which is an ability that we can pretty easily deal with. Though I assume it has Mark Exploitation abilities, so that could be a bit of a problem. Wicked Hack. Incision. And Smite should be able to finish the job. And it does exactly enough damage to finish the job.
Glory.
And I've just discovered what I forgot. Shovels. I told you I forgot something. I just didn't remember what it
As the light
was.
gains purchase,
I'll drop one
spirits
torch
are
for the
lifted.
shovels.
and purpose is made clear.
And what happens when I put a torch in the bone altar? Okay, I have no idea what the bone altar does. Okay, the odds are very high that it's in one of these that the boss is in one of these two rooms. And we have throbbing cocoons. Okay, only one gatekeeper. For a second I thought I had two gatekeepers, but one of them's actually just a manservant. Okay, we need to kill the gatekeeper fast. Okay, I'm really glad a Raging Slight missed. Alright, Emboldening Vapors on the Hellion. The Raging Slight actually isn't that big of a deal except for the stress. And we now ask the age-old question, can the Hellion kill this? The answer is maybe. That's probably the most unusual answer to get to that question. Alright, let's finish it off with Judgment. Or not. Okay. It will bleed to death if it stays around long enough to bleed to death, but it might not stick around long enough for that to happen, so I'm going to keep trying to hit it, and failing. Infallible servitude, that's pretty much meaningless. Alright, plague grenade. Just throw everything at it. Throw the kitchen sink over it. Okay, we got him.
Gently.
Good, he can't summon reinforcements. And he can't escape, which means we actually get the invitation I was going for. Alright, zealous accusation, because that will hit both.
As the fiend
And now all we have to deal with is a manservant. That's manageable. Alright.
Remind
Drop
yourself
the holy
that
water for the
overconfidence is a
Countess's
slow and
invitation.
insidious killer.
You know, there's a small chance that we end up going after the Countess as well as everything else that we've done this episode.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
And attack.
Their formation
Okay, that's
is
half the
broken.
spiders gone. They now can't mark.
Maintain
They
the
can still
offensive.
exploit. They could still exploit marks if they had any, but they can't inflict marks, so there's nothing for them to exploit. Let's go for healing. And in fact, I'm also gonna go for healing with the Crusader. We need more inspiring pride. Which, fortunately, the boost to stress skills from the signed conscription is very useful. Okay, that's the end of one spider. And that's the end of the other spider.
Surges as
Now we
the
had to
enemy
wait for the last one
crumbles.
to bleed out. And we didn't have to wait very long, did we?
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Salvage the unburned
A
torch.
fortune waiting to be spent.
Okay, it would be real helpful if we could get scouting right now. But it was not to be. Well, I know it's in one of these two rooms, and this room is empty, so this is a good place to make camp. Feast.
Gathered close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
Zealous Vigil costs 4 and only reduces his own stress. Sanctuary costs 4 and only heals people who have mortality debuffs. So in practice, there's no difference between the two. All they do is prevent nighttime ambush, but nobody else can prevent nighttime ambush. So let's use Zealous Vigil, and then let's use... how much time do I have left? 8. So I can't use Zealous Speech and Stand Tall. But there's no reason not to use Zealous Speech, since that reduces everyone's stress. And for my last 3, I'll go for Sharpened Spear, leaving the Hellion with 34 stress. But that's actually... 34 is manageable going into a boss.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
Okay. 50-50 chance, up or down. I'm going with down. Or it could be in one of these two rooms, but that seems incredibly unlikely. Is this it? It is.
It is a travesty.
Okay.
A blundering mountain of hatred.
Remember
and
the lesson
rage.
from last time, Viking. Do not attack Wilbur. Okay, the Swine God is 140% stun resistance, so there's no point in trying to stun him. And I can't reach Wilbur with any of my stunning abilities, so I may as well have the Vestal open up with Judgment.
The flesh is knit.
Okay, so Wicked Hack does 16 to 30. If it bleeds, does 11 to 20 and bleeding damage. The total damage is higher if I stick with Wicked Hack, I think. And Smite, because I can't stun him. The thing about him is he has no protection, relatively low dodge for this point in the game, and low speed. Also, his bleeding his blight and bleed resistances are also quite low. Of course, I say he has relatively low dodge right as I manage to miss. Alright. I'm going to use my other Emboldening Vapors also on the Hellion. That combined with Lioness Warpaint and the Legendary Bracer. She's going to be doing a lot of damage, and that's the whole point. Wild Flailing. What's the... Oh. That's probably a stunning ability. Oh, that's what he does if nobody is marked. Right, and let's see what Wicked Hack is doing now. 18 to 35, or 51 if I get a critical. The Swine God does have a lot of hit points, but the thing about him is, despite having a lot of hit points, he is less tanky than a lot of other bosses due to the lack of protection and resistances. course, he can do that.
A brilliant confluence of skill
With
and
smite.
purpose.
Presticott, the only person who heals people is the Vestal, unless someone is at death's door.
How quickly the tide turns.
Otherwise, there's no point. Wait, with the stun resistance buff, she still managed to be stunned. What is the stun chance on Bitter Squeal? Okay, that's potentially very bad. However, the Plague Doctor doesn't have enough healing to make a difference here, and neither does the Crusader. We're just going to have to survive. And hope the Vestal actually gets a turn next round with plus 100% stun resistance. She really should.
And now the true test. Hold fast or expire.
Okay, it's not targeting the person who's at death's door. That's good. Alright, let's go with Battlefield Medicine to get the Hellion off of death's door. Okay, she managed to dodge and these two. Alright, what's Wicked Hack doing now? 24 to 45 without a critical. I have an idea. I'm just going to heal the Crusader. I can heal him for more. Using the whole party healing wouldn't really heal enough to be meaningful. But the Hellion has increased damage when her health is low and the Crusader doesn't. Alright. Please survive, Preston.
This is no place for the weak or foolhardy.
That's unfortunate. We will still win the fight. I hope. Perhaps not, but a guy can dream, can he? We may still win the fight, though our accuracy issues are, well, a bit of an issue. And another critical from him.
In a single strike.
Okay, I just need, like, 2 solid hits and we win. Or 1 critical from the Hellion, which I have a 27% chance to get. Okay, one more and it's over. Doesn't even matter. Damage buffs at this point are meaningless too. I just need to I need to hit him with basically anything. And everyone is at death's door now. Okay, Divine Comfort. Get everybody off at death's door.
Is patient. It will wait.
Please don't stun. Thank you. Alright, and Wicked Hack. Okay, that's the end of the Swine God. Now we just have to deal with Wilbur.
Ton of putrid flesh.
Wilbur is a bit of a problem with his stun chance and all, but he doesn't do very much damage. And he also doesn't have very much bleed resistance. I can get past him, it just won't be easy. Bit of Squeal, that won't kill. And it can't stun because the person is... You can't stun that which is already stunned.
The blood quickens.
Okay, full Squeal. Still can't kill because nobody's at death's door. And it didn't stun anyone this time. Good.
Unwound.
Okay, stick with Incision. And Neo finally ran out of patience. Also, Neo, I'd like to take a moment to appreciate you missed the Swine God.
Pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Let's take a moment. You missed the Swine God every time you tried to use Incision on him, but despite the fact that he's gigantic, but fighting Wilbur, all of a sudden you hit every single time. What's the deal here? What's going on? Anyway, we're not staying in this dungeon, so I may as well drop all of the supply items to carry the loot. Now, let's get out of here. That really should not have resulted in a hero death. In fact, let's take a moment to appreciate we suffered exactly 1 death blow check over the course of the entire fight, and it resulted in a kill. The only person who even was hit while at death's door died. Aww. So Vologna's lost Slugger and gained Natural Eye. The Hellion has Natural Eye now. That's just pointless. And Conter has a weak grip on life. I need to get that fixed.
My obsession.
So that is another boss taken care of.
And it is shameful that I must rely upon you to set it right.
I have the gold to get rid of weak grip on life, though. It's not even that expensive. Now we need stress treatment. To run down to the brothel. And get roadside to the gambling hall. And now the Hellion can get stress treatment in the cloister. Okay. Let's find a new Presticott. Let's see. I think another highwayman should work, so I'll recruit him.
Elusive, evasive, persistent. Righteous traits for a rogue.
And I do have a bit more gold, so I can afford to upgrade a few people a bit more. Let's see. Right, I've pretty much covered for abilities. Now I just need to upgrade equipment. Which means I need to find the people whose equipment has yet to be upgraded. And good, Altard all the way up. And I also just discovered while doing this that my bounty hunter actually needs stress treatments. So let's get him over to the bar. And the casualty makes it kind of the casualty isn't enough to make it not worth it, but it's certainly unfortunate that we lost somebody fighting the Swine God. But still managed to defeat a boss and get some trinkets back after losing them to the we didn't lose them to the Shrieker, but we got trinkets back from the Shrieker. But with no more bosses that I can take on except the Countess, and frankly, I don't know that I have the heroes to do that just yet. Let's train up some new people. Let's see. That's long, that's medium, medium, long. Okay, so there are no short, missions, so let's see, I can get the gather ancestors relics, and that will get me lost and found, which could be pretty useful for upgrading equipment, which is where most of the gold has been going. So let's do that. What's a good team composition for this area? Let's see. The enemies tend to resist bleeding, but they're vulnerable to blight. I don't have anybody who can inflict blight. Instead, I'm going to go for mark exploitation. I'll let an occultist be our main healer. The enemies being Eldridge is also helpful there. Trade Demon's Pull for Sacrificial Stab, and Grulard is busy drinking his sorrows away, so who should go in the front line? I don't have a lot of good candidates for that, but I have a Crusader, he'll do. Okay, let's go collect some relics. For you, I'm going to go with the Bedtime Story and the Childhood Treasure, now that I've finally gotten those back. Plus 25% protection is the combined effect. Though the plus 15 accuracy and plus 8% critical versus marked is the real advantage. Let's see. The Occultist, well, the Occultist is the main healer, so he gets the scroll and a worry stone, as is usual for the main healer. Yeah, I don't have any Crimson Court specific equipment for the Highwayman. Also, apparently I didn't get back any equipment for the Highwayman. Oh no, Flashfire. Yeah, I'll get the Flashfire gunpowder, and then let's see. His accuracy is already pretty good, but I think I will give him a steady bracer in addition to the boosted damage. And the Crusader, especially if he's going to be operating as a frontline tank, really does need the Signed Conscription and the Glittering Spalders. Though reducing his speed to 0 is less than ideal. Okay. Pistol shot, grape shot, blast. Let's go with tracking shot and then open vein. Okay. Sniper shot, sniper's mark, bola, and battlefield bandage. I like that. And yes, Sacrificial Stab, Weakening Curse, Weird Reconstruction, and Vulnerability Hex. Okay, that's provision. Nobody has the Crimson Curse, so I don't need to bring any blood. I do need to bring food, though. And torches, and shovels. Yeah, I remembered shovels this time. A little bit of anti-venom, decent amount of bandages because of the... whatever the name of the ability that the barnacle barrier guys have that causes bleeding. Okay, I actually remembered to bring all of the supplies this time. Let's see what we can get.
Recover these lost shipments of rarities, that we may prevent them from falling into even less scrupulous hands.
I do appreciate that he says even less scrupulous hands. Like, he understands how unscrupulous we are, but apparently there's somebody out there who is even worse. Oh, and another cocoon, which means another, invitation. Alright, start with Sniper's Mark. And he managed to dodge Sniper's Mark. Still focusing on him with everything that can reach him. Vulnerability Hex has a small chance to kill. Of course, it has an even smaller chance to hit. Okay, he went with the Raging Slight rather than running away. That's good. And Smite. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to stun the Supplicant. Okay, there is a chance that one of us gets the Crimson Curse from this. Okay, that's unfortunate. Not a huge deal, though. Okay, Grape Shot Blast has a 70% to hit. Pistol Shot is 80%. Going with the higher chance to hit.
A faint hope.
Sacrificial Stab won't kill, but it'll get us close, and that's all I needed to do because Bola.
Their formation is broken.
Okay, that leaves just the one Supplicant. Okay, so the Supplicant, yeah, gets one more chance to gather the blood, which means that it could inflict the Crimson Curse, but it doesn't. And Bola once again.
First disadvantage. Give them no quarter.
Okay, get us back into formation, and we have another invitation. Honestly, the odds of this being a mission where I go after the Count, an episode where I go after the Countess again, are increasing. And we immediately encounter more Crimson Court enemies, including a Chevalier. I guess this is where the Crimson Court enemies were hiding all this time. Have been nothing and nothing and nothing, and now all of this. Pistol Shot on the Chevalier. And they've moved the Chevalier into a position where the Crusader can reach him. That is nice. And, yep, somebody has the curse. Alright, just heal yourself, Lewis. Especially if you're going to do that and heal yourself for 30. Alright, and Smite. Actually, I'm going to go for Stunning Blow, see if I can keep him in that position. I can. This also means he can't use Buried Blast. But and now we have two people with the Crimson Curse. And the Sycophant moved the Chevalier back, so I can't reach him again.
A dizzying blow to body.
The good news
brain.
is he's stunned. Or was stunned. Alright. Sacrificial Stab won't kill. But it will get us close, or it will do nothing because it missed. That's the other thing it could do.
Confidence
Okay,
surges
Chevalier
as
is
the
gone.
enemy
Now we
crumbles.
just have to deal with the weak enemies. Well, relatively speaking. So you go for Open Vein. And Zealous Activation. Alright, and the Sycophant bleeds to death the next time it gets a turn, so we focus on the other two. Okay, stick with Open Vein again, for the same reason.
A death by inches.
Bandage and healing. And the other side of the coin that is Weird Reconstruction, he healed himself for 3. And boom.
Devastating
Critical blow. Still need a little more damage, though. And Zealous Accusation
Continue
is
the
still not
onslaught.
enough. We need to hit the sycophant one more time for it to die.
All.
Or it could get one last turn, bleed itself out, and now I just need to wait. Okay. It is... This occultist is just having a bad day.
Ghoulish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
And more Crimson Court enemies, including a gatekeeper. Seriously, this is just where they've been hiding them this whole time. Like, at some point, I'm just gonna forget what the original mission even was, and the mission is just gather invitations. Straight for sniper shot. Still not enough damage. And now he's far enough back that the Crusader can't hit him, and 3 people have the Crimson Curse now. Okay. Fortunately, Roz avoided being pulled. And pre-digestion also moves the Gatekeeper back. Well, pistol shot. Okay, no more reinforcements, and we get the invitation regardless of what else happens.
Obliterated.
And there's cocoons for yet another invitation.
Inspiration and
You know, I feel like the game is trying to tell me something. Open vein for even more damage. Sacrificial stab. May not be the best choice, but I'm doing it anyway. Anti-venom and Bola. Okay, that leaves just the supplicant. The guy with 170% stun resistance. You know, not a big deal. Alright. And may as well go for some healing. Because frankly, the Crusader and the Highwayman can handle this without any help from me. Okay, so invitations do stack.
Is a slow and insidious killer.
Yes, I am going for another one. Okay, so it's this team composition. This is relatively easy to overcome. So over the course of a single episode, we're going to go from having had no invitations to having had 4. To having 4.
Eradicated.
Okay, this fight is looking like it's going to be relatively straightforward. Now I just use abilities like Grape Shot. Now I just use Grape Shot Blast and Zealous Accusation to hit both of them. And that leaves just the Manservant. Now here's hoping he doesn't use the Thirst. Or he doesn't get a chance to.
As victories mount, so too
Drop
will
the holy
resistance.
water for the blood. That's a kind of ironic... Oh no. Well, I guess that was helpful. I already used up all the anti-venom, so I can't purify the pool. I guess it's a good thing he didn't, like, catch Giardia or something in there. Oh, no. Our first encounter with the fish people and our entire formation is broken. And they are going to maintain the offensive. Okay, Sacrificial Stab won't kill by itself, but will with the help of Zealous Accusation. Maybe let's go for this. Oh! And the Highwayman has no patience for being shuffled. He just gets the kill anyway. Okay, that's half of them gone. And we're almost in formation. And tracking shot is meaningless, but I used it anyway. This, unfortunately, is kind of a tough composition to break. The Oracle is protected and just keeps buffing the Bulwark. May as well just move the Occultist back into position. And now we're in something that at least distantly resembles our actual formation. And I can now use Zealous Accusation and Grape Shot Blast to try to actually damage the Oracle. Also, Octocestus is the bleeding ability I was thinking of that I couldn't remember the name of earlier. Actually, with Zealous Accusation, Grape Shot Blast, and Bola, 3/4 of this team has abilities that hit both of positions 1 and 2. And now we're down to just the bulwark. But unfortunately, he is enough by himself. Well, with the enormous protection power. And now I accidentally attack a corpse instead of attacking the enemy. We're just getting back into classic science Viking here. Okay, stun resistance is only 45%. I may as well stun him to try to prevent him from attacking. And continuing with the Bola doing almost nothing. Honestly, I probably should have used Battlefield Medicine. Or Battlefield Bandage. It differs from Battlefield Medicine in that one is medicine and the other is a bandage. No, not what I meant. Default formation. And open the clam. Or oyster. What's the difference between a clam and an oyster? I actually don't know. Is there a difference, or are they just two different words for the same thing? All I know is that if anyone on this team survives this mission, we're going back to the courtyard in this episode. Oh, generous scouting. Curio, treasure, curio, curio. Quest location, so I have to go that way anyway. I could get a fourth invitation, but I'm not going to do that. The number we have is enough. And Bola. And Smite. And Sacrificial Stab to finish the job on the Thrall. The Thrall has a fairly significant weakness against this team because it is both Eldritch and Unholy. Also, how does Howl cause a disease? And let's go for Pistol Shot. A little bit more of that and we'll be rid of the maggot. Okay, we're rid of the maggot. And now we start setting up to take out the ghoul, not that it's likely to matter. And let's see if we can stun him. We cannot. Oh, pistol shot. Let's see if we can kill him. We cannot, even with a critical. Well, sacrificial stab should finish the job.
Cursed champion falls.
Again, making me wish for individual hero kill counts. Got the Blightstone for the portraits. Pretty soon, we're going to need to make camp. Partially to clear up inventory space, and partially because we need the healing. And actually, now that I look at the stress levels, I realize that's not true. I have a high stress level because of how crazy this mission has been. The heroes, on the other hand, they're apparently fine. And Smite. Okay, now we just have to deal with the tanky guys and the Oracle. Fortunately, I have tracking shot.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
May as well just go for weird reconstruction. I can't really set up because I need the people with the mark exploitation abilities to... Never mind. I guess the enemy is smart. They went for Barnacle Barrier. Okay, this is going to be a long one. Pistol shot against the bulwark. Not going to do much, but it'll do more than nothing. And vulnerability hacks against the bulwark. Reduces dodge all the way down to 0, but more importantly, he is marked now. And elevated critical versus marked is a very nice thing to have. Alright, let's go for stunning blow on the other bulwark to remove the protected status. And you get an Octocestus for your trouble, Crusader. And you can't kill the bulwark with pistol shot, but you can kill the Oracle, so do that. Probably should have just had the occultist heal. Or had him also attack the bulwark. Okay, now we just need to very gradually wear down the bulwark because our really high damaging abilities can't hit position 1. Alright, we need some healing done. This is going to be a long mission.
Well struck.
A little more. A little more. Apparently it's going to take even more. Like I said, this is going to take us a little. And the occultist is impatient. Welcome to the club.
These nightmarish creatures can be felled. They can be beaten.
Okay, so we got a trap. And I was hoping I would get to use the shovel for that, but it was not to be. Light up a torch. And I dropped the medicinal herb, so I can't take advantage of the fish carcass. Please don't take that sentence out of context. And our first Uea Crusher, because there was bound to be one somewhere. And my marking abilities don't reduce protection. I do have Weakening Curse, though. Pistol Shot. Not that it's going to do much. But Weakening Curse reduces its damage, which actually isn't that meaningful because the majority of its damage is through bleeding. Let's see if we can stun it. Can. Excellent. We're just going to need to ignore the spear fishing for a little while because we need to get rid of the Crusher fast. Of course, the spear fishing may become somewhat hard to ignore. Sniper shot, 7 to 16, but the elevated critical chance is rather nice. Just a little more and we're rid of that thing. And frankly, I think the other two heroes... Yep, there we go.
The greater
that leaves just the squishies in the back. Sniper shot. I'm gonna take one more solid hit for the Oracle to get rid of the Oracle, but I think I can do that. Okay, that leaves just the Grouper, or the Wide Mouth. You never keep track of the different, like, strength denotations, like Grouper versus Wide Mouth versus Piranha. I mean, they're all equally dead now.
Be wary.
Let's make camp.
Pride precipitates
Feast to clear up some inventory space. The busts can stay where they are. We have a lot less need for heirlooms now. We still have some utility. Okay, Zealous Vigil and Zealous Speech. You get stress levels to near 0. And how much time will be left? 3 time units. May as well you stand tall on the last guy who has any stress. And rest.
The light. The promise of safety.
Collect the quest item, drop some gold to make room for it, and back the other way. Still have 2 more quest items we need to find. Let me move the map. And none of them has even been scouted yet. Yeah, we're gonna be here for a little while. But now that we're on the way back, we may as well use the key and see what we get. Heirloom.
Finding the stuff is only the
Not what
first
you'd
test.
expect to find in an heirloom
Now
chest.
it must be carried home.
And I can't really risk dropping any of that. Oh, I'm not in the room I thought I was. Ah, bandits! Alright. Tracking shot on the Fusilier, because I don't want to deal with blanket fire any more than I have to. Sacrificial stab. Sacrificial miss on the bloodletter, because I forgot that the occultist was in position 2. Okay, I'm gonna have to deal with the the Fusilier once. And I also didn't stun the Bloodletter. Well, 70% stun resistance is kind of hard to beat. Sticking the sacrificial stab on the Bloodletter. And pistol shot on the Fusilier.
Decimated.
And sniper shot.
The ground.
Sniper
quakes.
crit. Well, you would expect sniper shot to get critical fairly often. That's kind of the whole point of being a sniper. Okay. And we have more bleeding than we have bandages. Which means I'm going to save my bandages for severe bleeding. Since we're dealing with Wea Crushers, bleeding for 2 isn't really enough to justify using a bandage. And Grape Shot Blast might rid us of both of these guys.
Perhaps the turning point.
There really is nothing I can reasonably drop for these 12 crests. I'm just gonna have to leave them here. And yeah, there's been a lot of resistance on this mission, more so than usual. That contains loot that we don't have inventory space for. And I'm gonna have to drop some stuff in order to pick up the other quest items. Though when I have more information, I might be able to afford to drop the shovels. I just need to know that there aren't obstacles. And witness the reason why I held on to the bandages. Sniper. Okay. Let's see what we can do about this crusher. Weakening Curse. This is a fairly good turn order, so I get to use Sniper's Mark and Weakening Curse on it before I get a chance to use Pistol Shot to make it as vulnerable as I can. And Stunning Blow. Perfect. I believe I can kill the Crusher before it gets another turn, barring Sea Breeze. So, fingers crossed. Okay, it went for Stress Wave. That is definitely the less destructive thing it could have done. Oh, right. They were surprised, which means that I still have to worry about it. Okay, it went for Call of the Demon. Thank you. Thank you for your poor judgment. I'm actually going to go for Weakening Curse again. Reduce its protection as low as I can. Its protection is not 0, which means its protection is too high. And went for Tidal Slam rather than Arterial Pinch. That is helpful. It failed to stun. That is even more helpful. But okay, it's close enough. I can finish. I don't need the snipers. I need them now. It finally went for Sea Breeze. Fortunately, only one of them went for Sea Breeze, so it's less bad than it could have been. Alright. Pistol Shot, still not enough to rid us of this turbulent Crusher.
Prodigious
there we
size
go.
alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
And Roz is venting her frustrations and mine on the Oracle that healed the Crusher. Or possibly the... I'm actually not sure which Oracle that was. Okay. A little more damage and we're rid of the Oracle. And we're rid of the Oracle.
Seize this momentum.
More loot, but I can actually carry
Push
some
on
of it.
to the task's end.
Okay. Okay, that's a quest location and that's a curio. So we've located 2 of the 3. Yeah, these are... It's not an exaggeration to say that these artifact retrieval missions are the hardest kind of mission. They're harder than the reverse version where you're dropping something off because they, what can I afford to drop? I'm actually going to take a gamble and drop the blood, and just gamble that nobody becomes craving during this mission. We have plenty of blood at home, so as long as we don't end up needing it in the field, we should be fine. Okay. salvage the unburnt torch. Light it immediately.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
There isn't a lot of map left, so... Okay, I'm gonna have to go this way, though. Okay, since you can't mark targets, you may as well try to get rid of the wide mouth. Sniper's mark. And weakening curse. And stunning blow.
A powerful blow.
Not only is it stunned, we also got a critical. Okay. And somebody's craving. My gamble failed to pay off. Alright, still just gonna get rid of the wide mouth. And weaken the crusher further. And smite. And eventually we will get around to using sniper shot. And that eventually is now. Okay, so the one time it's attempted to use arterial pinch so far and it managed to miss. I am not complaining. Though, as you see, I have precautions in case he does go for it and it does hit. But those precautions are seeming increasingly unnecessary.
Intrinsic merit, unless
of course,
inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Of course, the moment that I use the bandages for something else, he will use arterial pinch and it will connect. That's just the way it is. That's just how luck works in this game. And we found the last quest location.
Is made clear.
Just as the second person became craving, we found the last quest location.
If only treasure
Drop the
could
bandages
staunch
for the artifact.
Otherworldly corruption.
And let's get out of here before this manages to go even more wrong. Honestly, overall, the mission was pretty successful, including finding 3 different invitations. You all know what that means. We're going back to the courtyard. And we got a decent amount of experience, too. And no new negative quirks, just 3 instances of the Crimson Curse in one mission.
A finely crafted instrument of butchery and bloodshed.
Now let's
Yours
see
for
who
the
gets the
taking.
free weapon upgrade. I want to prioritize heroes who are high level and heroes who rely on their weapon damage a lot. And... Yep, Viviel, the level 5 leper, is the one who gets it. May as well upgrade his armor while I'm at it. A lot of my champions are maximally upgraded, though. Let's get Rosai some disease treatment. Need to get rid of his scurvy. So he has scurvy and a dog. I'm sure there's a pirate reference in there somewhere. Okay. Actually, I'm going to hold on to the rest of my gold because there's a possibility of losing money when we visit the courtyard. But before I go back there, I am going to get a fresh recording file. I will be back in a moment.
Let me share with you the terrible wonders I have come to know.
You know what? I know they say sharing is caring, but you don't have to share your terrible wonders. Those really belong to you. You should keep them. Anyway, also, the Vengeful Kill list. I actually really want that trinket. Also, 96 crests if we defeat the Countess. Anyway, yep, it's time to return to the courtyard. Let's bring a Hellion, a Plague Doctor, a Vestal, and... You know what? I'll bring an Abomination as my last one. Bloody Stun Day. Okay. The Vestal gets the usual trinkets for the main healer, that being the Ancestor's Scroll and the Worry Stone. The Plague Doctor, because of his access to Incision, he gets the Dissection Kit. And... what else would be good for him? Let's give him the other Worry Stone. And this is a situation where it makes sense for the Abomination to use his Crimson Court trinkets. Increased damage and critical for his ranged skills, and also reduced stress and increased dodge. And the plus 20% damage if he's in position 1, I can have him slam his way forward after transforming. Because yeah, Manacles is considered to be ranged, but all of his abilities when he's transformed are melee. And the Lioness Warpaint, and the Legendary Bracer. Though the plus 20% stress is less than ideal, I'm willing to risk it. Okay. And let us provision. I'll consume one of my 4 invitations, but we can afford that. Bring a full stack of blood. Decent amount of food. Actually, honestly, 2 full stacks is fairly decent. Only need 8 torches. A lot of shovels, because shovels are frankly the most useful supply item in there. Little medicinal herbs, and lots of anti-venom and bandages. A little holy water while we're at it. Okay. I think this is winnable. Let's see if we can do this. At last, the Countess reveals herself. Let's see how far we can make it this time. Okay. Step 1. Bump the Hellion up to Bloodlust immediately. Now, okay, that's the locked room. Right, I remember now. I found the locked room here. I'm betting this is just a big circle, so I believe this side path is where I find the key. Let's find out if I'm right. Okay, blood flowers, treated by a shovel. Let me interact with the curio, please.
Packs laden with loot
And
are often low on supplies.
give the Plague Doctor some blood and bump them up to Bloodlust as well. Already have 2 people. We've been here for like 5 minutes, and actually 4 minutes, and we already have 2 people in Bloodlust mode. Actually, less than 4 minutes. The recording has been going for 4 minutes. We haven't spent that whole time in the courtyard. Okay. Oh, loot, not stress from destroying the thronging. Not stressfully from destroying the thronging hive. I'm gonna have to. My inventory is already full though, and I'm gonna have to come back this way anyway, I think. So I'll leave that for now. And our first fight, and it includes a Chevalier, because of course it does. Why does the first fight include a Chevalier? Because Darkest Dungeon hates you personally. May as well go for Beast Smile. Because the only thing I have that can hit the Chevalier is Iron Swan or Judgment, and Judgment isn't going to do enough damage to make a meaningful difference. So instead I'll just use that for its stunning, I'll use Dazzling Light for its stunning properties, and I'm just going to have to rely on Iron Swan to take out Chevalier. Fortunately, the Chevalier cannot use the Thirst. He's one of the few Crimson Court enemies that has no way of healing himself. Unfortunately, that means he spends every turn doing things like that.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Right. And using Emboldening Vapors on the Hellion again. And now he's within range of Ipid Bleed, which unfortunately does less base damage. But he's also within range of Manacles now.
As the fiend falls.
And our first critical of the episode, of the mission, I think. Not of the episode, obviously. Get some healing. And 56 damage. That's without even using mark exploitation. That's just because of emboldening vapors. There's a reason why I like the Plague Doctor.
Grievous injury. Palpable.
Also,
fear.
yet another hero has the Crimson Curse now. Manacles won't kill, but it'll move us in that direction. Can Judgment finish the job? No, it can't, so let's just heal instead. And may as well use Wicked Hack on the one that's at full health, because you're gonna one-shot whatever you hit with it. And Incision. And Failure. And Disappointment. And
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
and the Abomination comes through for us with the kill. I'm gonna trade the crests for the rubies because we need gold more than we need heirlooms right now. Okay, so I was clearly wrong about thinking this was where the key was. Gotta be around here somewhere. Guess I'll just have to keep exploring areas I haven't been until I find it. Of course, the more we have to wander around, the more likely we are to encounter things like this, respawning hallway battles. Emboldening vapors again.
Inspiration and improvement.
See if we can manacle the, I was hoping for a stun, but I have another ability that causes stuns. I was hoping I would manage to stun both enemies, and then let the Hellion hack the large flesh eater to death.
Exposed to a killing blow.
But I can still try dazzling it. And fail. Another Wicked Hack. Another Emboldening Vapors. And another Manacle. A Manacle and a Prayer. And it still failed. I mean, 90% stun resistance, again, it's kind of hard to overcome. And now everyone has Horror. Still, 50% chance to stun. Our numbers gotta come up eventually. Oh.
Perched at the very precipice.
And the
of
Hellion is
oblivion.
already at death's door. It's our third fight, and somebody is already at death's door. Well, fortunately, I have access to battlefield first. I'm just gonna keep hoping for the stun, and failing to get it. And it's going for Tentacle Devourer again, and it missed this time. We need to heal the Hellion, even if that will reduce her damage buff. And may as well just try to stack damage for me. And Incision misses again. I need to start remembering to actually check accuracy numbers before I use these abilities. Let's go for Beast's Vial. And it accomplished almost nothing. I really should have gone for Manacles again, though Manacles has also been accomplishing nothing.
The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
Healing the Hellion, we need the healing badly. In hindsight, I probably need to start bringing gestures to these missions just because the stress accumulates so fast. Alright, Wicked Hack should take care of the flesh eater. And it's a critical, so we don't have to deal with a corpse either. And another Incision. This time it managed to hit. Okay, Manacle's is only 130% base chance to stun, but still, we have beat the fuck out of the odds when it comes to stun chances this battle. We really should, like, at this point with the 50 repeated 40 and 50% chance to stun abilities not stunning at all, really you would expect him to have been stunned at least a couple of times by now. Okay, Transform causes stress, so I can't really risk it right now. I don't want to use transform if I can avoid it. Fortunately, I'm finally rid of the
Prodigious
ghoul.
size alone does not
Thanks to
dissuade
damage
the
over
sharpened
time.
blade.
Okay. And now we're going to a room battle, which we can only expect is worse than the hallway battles. Blood for treasure, but the treasure is not likely to be that good. The treasure is not actually that good. Okay, no chevaliers at least, that's good. Though the squires can still be pretty bad themselves. Go for a stun. And that one worked. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. You just repositioned the second squire so that I can actually stun it. Wicked hack. Ask the age-old question about the Hellion. And, of course, he manages to use Skewer and Repartee before I have a chance to do anything. And our first resolve check. And courageous! The night is black, yes, but the fire burns bright. Alright, bandage. And I'll risk the riposte because I want the stun. Okay, infallible servitude. Fortunately, I have a way to get around that. And that way is Beast Spot. Please, Blight. Thank you. Okay, that's one of them gone. I believe enemies can still riposte while they're stunned, though. We need healing. I suppose I'm about to find out if they can. Oh, they can't! You can't riposte while stunned. Alright, and Wicked Hack to finish off the Squire. Close enough.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Okay. That still leaves the manservant and the sycophant, and they are not a small problem. Manacle, the one that still has an action left this round, and we actually got the stun. I guess we're catching up. I guess this is making up for all of the odd-beating bad luck that we got last time. Alright, incision again. Okay, one left. Let's see if I can one-shot it with Wicked Hack. I can.
Decimated.
Okay, we made it through somehow. So use Battlefield Medicine and hope for critical healing.
The death by inches.
Okay. Perhaps this room contains the key. Oh no. Okay, you resisted the disease at least, but I was hoping I would actually get a chance to interact with that. Though I don't know, all I would get probably is food, so it wouldn't be worth it. Blood flowers, but since I'm gonna have to come back this way, I may as well get them later. And again, just a dead end with loot. I may as well see if this has anything useful in it.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Right. Yeah, I finally gave up on the holy water. I really wish that I could have gotten a log or two. But I haven't encountered any of the blood crates. Still, we're eventually by sheer process of elimination, I must find the key. Regardless of where it is, I will eventually have just been everywhere. And I can't end up going in circles, really, because the game actually keeps track of where I've been. I keep instinctively wanting to light a torch to increase the light level, and then I remember that we're in the courtyard, and it doesn't work that way. This would just get me food, which we have 24 of, so there's no real benefit to doing that. This, however, would get me stress reduction. So who has the most stress? That's the Hellion. Okay, that is good. That is exactly what we needed right now. Okay. And we get nothing, apparently. Oh, that's not important anyway. The shrews don't really give me anything that's particularly valuable to me right now. Okay, this is going to be challenging. It's not impossible, but it's going to be challenging. We could hack this 7 to 12. If it bleeds, is the better investment because his protection is elevated. Of course, it doesn't matter if it doesn't hit. Alright, by the same logic, incision. Okay. Stress, even with the stress reduction, the stress level is still too damn high. The point where I kind of can't really risk transforming the abomination because it'll bump everyone over into critical stress. Let's dazzle the
Precision
squire,
power.
or not. Well, the critical hit gave us some stress reduction, and frankly, that is enough. And then the thirst is there to remind you that life is pain and hope is a lie.
Devastating blow.
Okay, so gibbering entourage, does that mean, is he guarding everyone now? It's insane, I love it. Like, I can't even complain because the idea of that is just so ridiculous. And of course, just when he takes enough blight damage that he would die from it, he instead uses the thirst. Okay, we now have our first affliction.
The walls close in.
I mean, it was bound
The
to happen
shadows whisper
eventually.
of conspiracy.
Really a question of exactly how long it took. Can I kill this guy in one? Not even close. But I can at least damage him. And of course, he also goes for the thirst. At least it managed to miss this time. But that one didn't. And he's back to full health. The enemy got critical healing. May as well go for incision. If I can stack enough damage over time, I might be able to overcome his ability. Wait, he's done. He's, Oh! 32 healing, and it's not from, what's it called? Okay, that's 2 of them down. He will... Wait, no, he has 10 and he's blighted for 5. I can... And does gibbering entourage just last forever? No, it doesn't last forever. It does last for a long time, though.
The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Incision on this one. Beast's Bile will be enough to get rid of the,
Reeling. About to break.
Beast's Bile will be enough to rid us of both of these Chevaliers. And before they have a chance to use the thirst at that.
Gently. This is how a life
Keep
is
healing the
taken.
abomination. We can't have him die. And that just means now we just have to deal with the courtesan, but she's enough
Their
of a problem on
formation
her
is
own.
broken. Maintain the offensive.
Incision. There we go.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
And I have the yellow key, so I'm gonna drop... I'll drop the medicinal herbs, honestly. Okay, so the key was way closer to the lock than I could have imagined. I ended up taking the massively long way around to get it, but we got it. We can progress. Okay, these are curios without room battles, so my best bet is actually to continue through the uncharted territory. to get to our destination. Okay, it's another shrew. That's really not helpful to me. And what fresh hell does this hallway battle have for us? Beast Bile hits both of them and does pretty okay damage. Combine that with Wicked Hack. Maybe I should have gone for If It Bleeds. And Incision. I really should have gone... I definitely should have gone for Emboldening Vapors instead. Okay. Not off to the best start, but I think we will survive. I'm not certain that we'll survive, but I think we will survive. And now 2 people are paranoid.
The bulwarks of the mind have fallen.
And Beast File, because we can still hit both of them.
Bubbling.
And Incision, because you can hit the one I actually want to damage. And its Blight resistance is 0 now. At this point, the courtesan looks like she's likely to die from splash damage. And as I say that, she heals herself, and the final person's resolve is tested, and she's hopeless.
There can be no hope in this hell. No hope at all.
Alright, if it bleeds, and it does not bleed, just heal the Plague Doctor. Thank you. And you know what? I no longer need to worry about people becoming afflicted, so it's time for some stress. Let's transform. And Rake. Because Rake doesn't care about your guarded status. It does care about your evasion, though. Expose the vein. I assume that lowers bleed resistance. Okay, we're almost rid of the insatiable ghoul. And now I'm coughing all of a sudden. And Wicked Hack. And Wicked Miss. Of course, that's because the courtesan's dodge is 47. And Rage.
Annihilated.
And heal a little bit. So you healed a lot of it, that's good.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Okay. We survived that, and not only did we... Oh, god damn it. We could have had a camping log and gotten a chance to heal ourselves, and instead you ruined it for us. Must you do things like that? Wait, this is Darkest Dungeon. Of course you must do things like that. Okay, and that would require a holy water, which I ditched a while ago. This looks like a long mission. We're gonna be here for a while. Well, honestly, we can't continue much longer before we start having heart attacks.
The ground quakes.
May as well go for Beast File because there's nothing the Abomination would do to hit position 4. Okay, Judgment. Would have been real nice for that not to have missed. And Iron Swan would have been nice if that also had not missed. I mean, can the Chevalier even move? How is he dodging things? And Infallible Servitude, which is completely meaningless in this situation, aside from the protection buff. Manacled this manservant, so they both die this round.
Continue the
And now we just need to deal with the Chevalier and the
Destroy
Sycophant.
them all.
Sycophant has low stun resistance, so let's go. Apparently it's high enough, though. Advantages even though you have Adrenaline Rush, because I need damage on the Chevalier now. Of course, that requires you to be able to hit him, which you apparently cannot. Okay. See, Neo knows what to do. Maybe I should have just brought 4 Plague Doctors. Actually, that would probably have been a terrible idea. Oh! You know, no, I shouldn't diss the Abomination like that. He knows what he's doing.
Give them no quarter.
May as well go for another stun. And let's find out if Sycophants bleed. They do. Okay, now we just spend a round or so healing ourselves in the hopes that we survive the next battle. And may as well use my first use of Absolution this episode. The god of dubstep does not like to be neglected. And all I can use is Divine Comfort, so let's go for it. Default party order.
Success so clearly.
Give the person who's craving a vial of blood.
Or is it merely a trick of the light?
And I have, like, so I eventually found the key, but we haven't even reached the door the key goes to yet, just with all this combat. Okay. Finally, some progress. And no way of knowing which of these is the correct one. I'm gonna gamble on down. I have a suspicion that the Countess is in the southernmost part of this map. Partially because of the tendency of these missions to constantly go south really fast. Also, yep, everyone in this team has the Crimson Curse now. Oh, crap. This is not going to be an easy composition to break. Can't reach position 4 with Manacles. The Abomination can't reach position 4 with anything. Okay, Iron Swan could kill in 2 hits, but that assumes that I hit 2 times and that I roll high on damage, so neither of those is something I can rely on. Fix the Hellion up, I don't want her to die. I know that reduces the power of the Lioness Warpaint, but I'm willing to... On the other hand, she'd be on death's door right now if I hadn't healed her.
The end approaches.
Battlefield Medicine to get rid of the bleeding. I guess not. Plague Grenade to get rid of the Chevalier. Or Plague Grenade could do literally nothing. That's the other possibility. Okay. And she's at death's door. I'm just going for Adrenaline Rush to get her off of death's door. We are... I mean, she's very much in danger of having a heart attack, too. This is not going well. Does Buried Blast cause stress? No, it just causes... there she goes.
Hold fast, or expire.
Okay, this is bad. This is exceedingly... This is intensely bad.
For the slightest lapse in concentration.
Okay, get some healing on. And our retreat failed. I tried retreating, but even that didn't work. Okay, that's it. Only one option is left: transform. And rage.
Eradicated.
And since you can't heal yourself, just use Emboldening Vapors on the Abomination. We need all the damage we can get. Alright, heal the Plague Doctor. You can heal... Alright. Alright. So, of course they go for Tentacle Devour. And Subterranean Skewer, also on the Plague Doctor, and that increases the probability of a heart attack. which we've got!
Of emptiness
And
revealed
welcome to our
themselves.
second fatality for the mission, and our third fatality for this episode. Yeah, the mortality rate on this expedition is a little high. No point in... Though I may as well just...
This skirmish may be
I may as
lost,
well just have the
but
vessel
the
try
battle
to
may yet
retreat.
be won.
We are not going to win this. We are not going to be able to win this fight. We need to get out of the courtyard. I managed to unlock the door. That's the sum total of my accomplishments in the courtyard this episode. I unlocked one door, and we lost 2 people. Yeah.
Great adversity has a
The final courtyard
It is
mission
the
is
fire that
hard.
tempers.
And yeah, we had a net loss of money, too. We spent more than we gained. Fortunately, we have enough money to outfit another expedition, to outfit another mission. Now let's just get some stress treatment. Actually, I'm not even sure we can afford stress treatment. That may need to wait until after we've done another mission.
Their domain.
But having defeated a boss and ventured into the courtyard, this is going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I will see you next time.